So glad we got everybody here. Hope everybody's starting to kill this week too. Hope everyone's having a lot of success. Um, Really quick, I kind of want to start it out with a little story because I thought this was actually really inspirational. In which case, my sister, she's moving out and she's moving over down to Florida. She just bought a house down in Florida, and it's a drop dead gorgeous place. Looks amazing. But she was a little bit worried about buying furniture for her house, and she was really stressed out actually when she was packing the past couple of weeks, and she was worried about trying to buy like furniture, trying to buy couches for her house specifically, because she was looking at prices. Each couch, I mean, each one starts out at like around a grand. I don't think you can buy a couch for under a grand really. And she was like, oh, she was stressing about it. Am I really gonna have a house without a couch? What am I gonna do? This is about to be crazy. And so what she did was she obviously she did cry a little bit about it, but what she did is instead she did two things that I thought was really powerful. Instead of her being super mopey and kind of giving up, she thought about it in a different way. First, obviously, she prayed, and one thing in particular that I really do want to make note is that when you pray, the first thing that you're going to want to pray for is obviously you want to pray for the item, and then you want to pray as if you already received it. You want to pray as if you're thankful for it. And so she did that, and the very next day, she prayed that she's thankful for it. And what she also did is that she started thinking, okay, I want a couch. This thing is going to cost $1,000. Either I can get 10 clients at $100, or I could figure out a way to add value to my current product to be able to make that product worth $1,000. So she rearranged a couple of her things, and she actually made a couple of sales. She focused a lot more. And because of it, she does a lot of marketing for influencers in particular. She added a bunch of value. Typically, she sells these posts for like $100. She added a whole bunch of value, reworked her message, and she was able to sell a post for $500. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because if you really ask for things and you really put your mind to it and you really start thinking as if with the mindset that you're going to receive it, let me tell you, you're going to receive it. Because yeah, she made a post, she made $500, but that still was not enough. The really important thing here is that first she switched out her message. Second thing, she went down to work. She did a job down in New York, and while she was in New York, she took her Jeep there. So the Jeep was able to carry some stuff. And what was really incredible was that when she went down to New York, she met up with this person, and this person was like, hey, I have this amazing couch. I'm moving myself, but I need to get rid of this couch. And it was worked out absolutely perfect because this couch is a brand new leather couch, probably worth, I don't know, 2, 3 grand. It looked amazing, looked brand spanking new. And it was immediately just given to her in the time that she needed. So like the coincidence of her needing this, the coincidence of her receiving this couch and her asking God for it, and for her taking up opportunities, making moves in her business, changing out her prices. It's almost impossible to say like this cannot be like God's work right there. The reason why I really wanted to start with this is because you know I started my funnel hacker lab business maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And through building this business and working with plenty of different clients, there's one thing in particular that I really do see. And sometimes I do fall victim to this as well. I do see a lot of businesses really kind of stopping them from growing or stopping them from really achieving this level of success that they want to do is really just in their mindset. You know, if you don't have this mindset that, most importantly, self-belief, self-confidence in yourself to be able to, I don't know, sell 1,000, 10,000, $50,000 product, it's never going to happen. And obviously in And in retrospect, too, if you're constantly thinking that you don't deserve success, if you're constantly thinking that you don't deserve to be at the level that you want to be at, you're never going to be at the level that you want to be at. You know, I have my mom, and I know it's kind of going a lot personal, but my mom, she grew up poor. My dad grew up with a hustle mentality. My dad's dad owned a nightclub. He was making a couple of bucks. So my dad kind of grew up with a totally different mindset than my mom did. And I find that when I hang out with my mom a lot, because she has this mentality that I need to save water, I need to make sure I leave the room and turn off the lights. I need to make sure that I'm kind of penny pinching. I'm looking on the floor for pennies and stuff. You know, it's a totally different mindset. Whereas where I talk to my dad, and my dad's like, okay, son, you need to make sure that you constantly pushing yourself out of the business, hire staff that's smarter than you. You know, the more you push yourself out of the business, the more zeros you're going to add onto your revenue. It's a completely different mindset between the two. And one thing in particular that I was actually talking to my sister before she went down to Florida was that, and I wanted to really make sure that this is honed in today, is that I wouldn't really focus. And now, obviously, it's not financial advice, but this is what works for me and has worked for a lot of other people that I know, is that I wouldn't worry too much about spending. I wouldn't really worry too much about how much things really cost that much. I wouldn't really worry about, hey, I'm getting a Dunkin' drink maybe twice, 3 times a week. That's like $30, $40. That $40 could be put into something else. You know, what I try to focus in on is rather than spending, is I try to focus in on how could I make more money. The reason why I do this is because I always find that the stress of worrying about your expenses, the stress, obviously keep a budget, obviously don't go crazy, but the stress about worrying about what you're spending, what you're saving, what you're trying to make up for is the same amount of stress that you could have for making more money. It requires the same amount of energy for that. So if you are constantly penny pinching, you're gonna put this barrier on yourself, this barrier on your belief over here that you need to worry about saving, and you won't really see yourself grow too much. Whereas if you, on the contrary, you focus more on how you can make more money, how you can double your revenue, how you can add more value, how you can charge more for your products, I've always found that you're a lot more successful when you worry more so about how you can make more money rather than how much you're spending. And I hope that makes sense for you guys, because in my brain, it kind of makes sense over there. Does anybody have any kind of questions on that before I kind of move on to the next topic there? Before we
No,
move
I want to
past the
make
mindset?
a comment about
Absolutely,
what
please
you
do.
said. So I really like how you say, because I grew up thinking of the mindset. My dad also grew up poor too. So he was always the type to be like, oh, you got to save this, you got to save that, you got. And I realized from a great teacher of mine that when you always worry about what you're saving and everything, it takes up a lot of like stress in your mind instead of like worrying about more important things. So it really helped me change like my beliefs about it. And you tying into that, I completely agree exactly what you're saying.
Appreciate that. A lot of my psychology teachers has always told me as well too, and it kind of mixes in with this, is that when you think so much in the past, you kind of get depressed. When you think too much in the future and always in the future, you get anxiety ridden. Whereas when you think more so in the present, how can I make my business more money? How could I myself become a greater person? How could I expand my mindset? Going to the gym, reading books, learning from mentors, staying in the present has always been way more beneficial than worrying about the past, being in the future too much, you know, stay in the present, learn, continue to work on your business, push yourself out of the business. And the more, like I said, I'm going to repeat this again because I find this so important. The more that you automate your business, the more that you systematize your business, the more that you do that type of thing, the more that you add more VAs, more helps, people that are smarter than you, pushing yourself out of the business, the more zeros you're going to add onto your revenue. And I believe that full heartedly. That combined with confidence in yourself, taking up the opportunities that God gives you is gonna make you truly, truly great.
Absolutely, it's absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Like I grew up with the principle of when you hold on to things, you can't open your hand at the same time to get more, or
Mhm,
you can't open your hand to even give more. So of
mhm,
course, because the name of the game is giving the maximum amount of value.
mhm,
So it's like if we're always holding on to money, or we're always holding on to the past, or we're always holding on to whatever we're holding on to what have you, we can't open our hands to receive the blessings that we have coming to us. It's impossible. You can't have a closed fist and an open hand at the same time.
mhm,
Impossible. So I appreciate you. My partner and I were just talking about that. How we don't really worry about how much things cost because we know our earning potential as well.
mhm,
And it's like if it's not saying that we're really reckless we're not reckless at all with finances. It's just a matter of we can't get caught on like, wait a minute, let's not buy this because it's $10 more than this one. It's
mhm,
for instance, like she went to the grocery store while I'm on this meeting, and she's like, well, the other parts of like the heavier stuff, I'll just have the heavier stuff delivered so that you won't have to go and get it,
mhm,
and it costs $3 to have it delivered. So it was like it just makes more sense. It makes more sense for bottled water to be delivered than for me to take my time, spend a half an hour, go stand in line, be frustrated
mhm,
when for $3 more I can save myself in a half hour, hour of time than it would like my time is worth so much more than that. And I think a lot of times when we're talking about how much something costs, it's a matter of you either have time or you have money. And when we have both, it's like that's when we hit where we really want to be, right? So when we don't have a lot of money, we have to find things that are able to sacrifice for that amount of time. So it's like if I didn't have that $3, then it's like, okay, yeah, I would go and get the water. But wait a minute, what can I be doing? This meeting is more important to me than $3 is.
sure hope
So
so.
it's like I get, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so much more value than $3. So it's sometimes we have to not even like still value is a currency.
Mhm,
Time is a currency. Money is just a benefit of the two of those. So by default, us adding more value, us adding more time for ourselves, for our families, for our loved ones, that's going to by default make us more money because we're going to be able
mhm.
to be more productive. So I appreciate that message because it really resonated with the conversation that we had this morning. So thank you for that.
Of course, of course. Kind of going off what you're saying as well too, to add and contribute with that is, and I kind of use this example a little frequently, but because it makes perfect sense. Is a while ago I had to consult somebody who's a real estate agent. He might have been making a quarter mil. He wanted me to come in to systematize his business a little bit more to kind of get his team more on track. And I went there, I was there like 15, 30 minutes, hour, 30 minutes in advance. And I saw the guy I was going to meet up with, the owner of this real estate branch. He was outside, he was mowing his lawn. He was outside doing a job that's like, a 20 an hour dollar job. This guy's ready making a quarter mil. Why is a guy that's making a quarter mil doing a job that's worth $20 an hour? Why would you be delivering water that's worth $3 an hour? You as a business owner, you always want to take yourself you as a business owner, our job is to make the business the most amount of money, put ourselves in the positions to make the most amount of money. So then why would you do things that are only making you $3 an hour, $25 an hour, when you can be doing more important things that make you $100 an hour? Which is why it's so important as well too, to not get too caught up in the business itself. It's really to uh you really want to free yourself from the business and find people that are better at creating graphics than you, better at putting ads out than you, better at AI automations than you, whatever marketing than you, so that you can then push yourself out of the business, think about more of the bigger things on there. And if that makes sense, I really do want to move into this next section that I really want to talk about because I thought this is super important. It's about split testing ads. So If that ever all makes sense, everybody's all cool with me moving on to like the next step over here. I'm gonna move on to here. So one of my buddies, he was running some ads for a merchant account business, and I wanted to show these ads up here because it shows a great understanding on how exactly we should split test things. Okay, I had a lot of questions on my chat over here. Played, how do I split test landing pages? How do I split test ads? How do I figure out what I should be doing rather than the other? And let me pull up my buddy Nick's account over here really quick. I have his screenshots from his account. Here we go. Beautiful. All right. Let me share my screen really quick now. Oops. Just lost it. Here it is. Cool. So really quick, when it comes to split testing, I think this is super, super important because regardless if you're hiring out somebody to run ads for you, or if you're actually doing the ads yourself, or if you're putting content out there on Instagram and Facebook, or if regardless of whatever you're doing, split testing emails, subject lines, split testing landing pages, overall, the system is the same. The system really is just the same. And this is how I do it because this is what I've learned to have always worked. Okay. So, like I said, this client over here, he is running, I'm working with this client, his name is Nick. He's running ads for a merchant account, which is pretty much, a Stripe processor or a Squarespace processor, in which case they give that to small business owners. And I thought this was super interesting. Can I see it? All right, over here. So he put out three ad sets over here, three different targeting methods over here. As you can see over here, the lead enforce one didn't really go out too well. And in addition to split testing, there's also another key point on here that I really want to share that I'm not going to get. I get passionate sometimes about this. I jump ahead from things. I'm going to try not to do that here. But what he did here is we had three different ad sets. I always try to go with one campaign, which is the beginning over here. The campaign is what shows you the buying type, either a traffic, a lead gen ad, whatever it might be. The ad set is what shows the targeting, and the actual ads over here is where you do the graphics and the copy. So over here in the ad sets, I always tell people to do things in threes, okay? And what we did is we did three different ad targeting types. The first one being entrepreneurs, the other one being competitors by using a software called Lead Enforce, which allows you to scrape data from other Facebook groups and other Facebook pages. It's able to compile everybody that's engaged in those Facebook pages, everybody that's in those Facebook groups, put them into a custom audience and put that into a Facebook audience for you to then send ads out to. So pretty much you're taking your competitors' engagement, your competitors' people that are in the Facebook groups, and you're specifically sending ads to them. Okay, it's called Lead Enforce, by the way. For some reason, that didn't work over here. I don't know exactly why, but none of the worries, that's okay. And if you guys are interested in Lead Enforce as well too, I'll put a link on the Facebook group as well too. But right over here, because this is super, super important, is that here he did entrepreneurs. Another one he did open targeting. And I'm going to show you exactly why I did open targeting in a second. But entrepreneurs over here, can I mark something? Let me see. Annotate. Spotlight. Here we go. Beautiful. I hope you guys can see this. So entrepreneurs over here, guys, cost per result. I know it's in like pesos or in European, but it doesn't matter. The numbers are numbers. Entrepreneurs over here got $31 as a cost per result, whereas just an open targeting over here got $24 as a cost per result. Now, just based upon these numbers, which ad over here, and it's quite literally just this simple, do you want to be allocating more of a budget to? One that has a more expensive cost per result or one that has a cheaper cost per result? Obviously the one that has a cheaper cost per result. And for anybody that tells you ad management is more complicated than that, is just trying to sell you a very expensive course. Okay. So let me go back over here. Let me show you a couple of other examples that he has over here. All right, beautiful. Now this is the actual ads over here. So let me pull this one up over here. Beautiful. So this is for another account that he is managing as well too. This is for credit tips and tricks. This is he isn't, like I said, Nick is a Facebook ad agency. He's running it for a credit report company over here. And look at this. So first one over here, he gets $5 cost per result per website submission. I don't know if that's like a lead over here. I don't know what exactly that is. Next one over here has $11, $4, $4, $1, $6, $8, $4. Okay. You want to start split testing, first of all, when either you've hit at least 1,000 impressions. What an impression is a person that views your ad. So obviously I can't scroll. Oh, right here, impressions. So impressions, at least 500 to 1,000. So this is at 496. All right, cool. Now you can start making optimizations over here. $5 per cost per ad. I'm probably going to boost this up a little bit. That's pretty good cost per result. Over here, 480, 600, 300 over here at $1.90. I mean, I probably will wait for this one to go up to at least 500 impressions before you start making any optimizations to this. But over here, it's at 480, 500, $11 cost per result. I might shut this one out over here. The other $4, $6 over here. You're at 600 impressions over here. I might take that one out, but I will start boosting the ad spend on the ones that are at $4 over here, $5 over here, where I will be cutting off the ones that are at $11 over here, almost twice the price. Then what I'll really do is I'll try to figure out why exactly does this one have $11 cost per result, and why exactly does this one has a $6 cost per result. Now, kind of just looking at it, and obviously we're not really able to see in his ads or able to really see in his copy. But one thing in particular that I can kind of just point out right at the back, just by looking at the image graphic preview right here, is that this one over here at $11 has a very, very gray, dark background over here. It looks very dark. Whereas this one at $4 cost per result over here, it's bright, it's blue, it's happy. People are inherently, human nature, people aren't going to go to depressed shit than to go to more happy stuff. So right out the back, that's what I'm already seeing, kind of just understanding by the numbers over here. So in this case, I would obviously cut down the $11 one. I'd stop running ads that are gray and black like this, and I'll start running more ads that are blue and bright and vibrant like that. Okay. Let me show you the last one, and then I want to get into another secret specifically about running ads to a no targeting. I think it's going to be wonderful. You guys are going to love this. But let me go into this one really quick before I get into that. So over here, same exact thing. He's running ads out for, I think this is a merchant account over here. So cost per result, $40, $35, $19, $20, and $30 over here. So this one, with impressions, it reached out to 1,000 people, which is kind of similar to impressions as well. So you can start making optimizations on here. 1,764, got to wait for that one. 600, 819, 8,000. So these you can kind of optimize right now. And just from the jump over here, noticing that this one is at $40 cost result, this one's at $35 cost result, but this one's over at $20 cost result. Obviously, I'm gonna knock out the ones that are gonna be $40 cost result, $35 cost result, because I'd rather spend less. I'm gonna hit the ones that are $20. And I was just looking at just the previews over here. I'm noticing the difference between the $19 and the $40 one. The $40 ones, it looks maybe it's too plain, or it has a white background over here. Maybe it looks too ad-y. As soon as now this is kind of important, but let's pretend you're watching TV. You're watching TV and the commercial comes on. What do you do when the commercial comes on? Me personally, I go to the bathroom or I look for a snack. As soon as a commercial comes on, as soon as an ad comes on, inherent nature is to just tune out. Okay. So when you're running ads on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Google, all those things, one of the big goals that you want to hit is making sure your ad blends in well with the feed, making sure that it looks normal with the feed. Over here, they have a look at this one over here, a Drake meme over here, a funny meme over here. Memes blend in very, very well with the feed, because people are constantly posting funny shit on social media with memes. Whereas this other one, the white plain one over here, looks like an ad. It looks very addy, for lack of better words. And it's obviously it's performing as how we said. This one's almost double the cost, whereas this one over here that blends in a lot more well with the feed. You know, it's a meme, it's probably funny, it's probably getting some engagement on. It's almost half the cost over there. Okay. So the lesson to be learned here is that when you're running ads, is to just allow the ads to not look too much like an ad. Obviously, gain their interest by having a cool image on there that just makes them want to stop scrolling. But more importantly, put this ad out there that doesn't immediately just scream, hey, buy shit from me. You know, because marketing first, you need to gain their trust before they buy from you. So put an ad out there that gains their trust, you know, provides value, gets them to stop, you know, rather than making it seem so ad placementy. Another thing to kind of add on to there is that when you're specifically doing like TikTok ads, you know, TikTok ads, you run them very different than you run like Facebook and Instagram ads, mainly because the platforms are very different. You know, going along with what I was saying is making sure that they are congruent with the feed is that when you're doing like TikTok ads, you're gonna want to make a TikTok that looks like a normal TikTok. You know, I was mentoring this one guy that he was like, yo, play by TikTok ads are performing. I was just spending $1,000 on this shit, and I haven't got a single sale off of this. And this guy, I think he was selling, what you call the things that tie up women's hair, braids, not a braid, like a slinky thing that goes around the hair. For lack of better words, I know I'm terrible, but he was selling these things on TikTok, and he wasn't able to get a single person to bite. You know, meanwhile, this little band cost, I don't know, maybe $1 to sell. He was selling it for him, and he sold $1,000 on it. The reason why he wasn't getting any sales on this was because every single time he put up a TikTok ad, it would look like absolute shit. It would look so spammy. It would look so like an ad. So what we did with him is I worked with him and he's like, hey, bro, this is what you're going to do. Get these bands out here, these ponytail bands, and just give them out to a bunch of influencers, okay? Give these things out to a bunch of influencers and have them make videos on it completely for free. Even if you had to pay them, getting that content out is so worth it. So he did that. He sent it out to like 4 or 5 different influencers. The influencers sent them back ads or sent them back out content. Not content was the exact same format of content that they would film. Okay. And he took that and he took that and repurposed that as an ad. As soon as he did, boom, the very next day, people were buying like absolute crazy. So what I'm trying to say here is that don't kind of not necessarily don't do stupid shit, but just making sure that your ads don't look spammy. Don't immediately say, hey, buy my shit. You know, maybe get somebody to film an ad for you. Maybe get an influencer over there to try out your shirts, your merch, and showing them on their TikTok and then boost those TikTok ads. Okay. Pretty much don't make it look spammy, is what I'm trying to say. And now the third thing over here that I really want to talk to about in regards to ads over here is that specifically Facebook's algorithm is so powerful, so powerful. So let me show you over here. Okay. To bring it back to Nick's over here, because this is an excellent example, which is why I asked him to send me the screenshot over here. He put out 2 types of ad sets over here, 2 types of targeting. One targeting going out to entrepreneurs, and these entrepreneurs were actually narrowed down to something else, but he didn't write it there. But I remember him doing that. You know, we use the entrepreneur ad set over here more so as a way to train the pixel. And I don't know if I talked about this anytime out with anybody, you individually, but let me share my screen here really quick. Okay. Let me make that a little easier for me to see. Is that, like I said, the pixel is very powerful. And as long as you train it to start working for you, it's really going to work for you. So when I run some ads over here, let's say I'm put like 3 ads out here, okay? Oops, I didn't do enough columns there. All right, you see, you ad targeting 1, like 1, 2, and 3 over here, okay? I like to always do things in threes. And the way I would set up my ads, we're running it from a cold blank account. Starting from the very beginning. The way I would really start running my ads, let's say, and I always use Credit Repair because I think it's an excellent example for me, is I would run ads out for, so I'll be thinking like, hey, what are people that are interested in credit repair? What are they probably searching up? What are they looking for? You know, maybe this person wants to do credit repair because a they need a new car, but they can't get approved for one. So what I would be looking up is I would be looking up things like cars.com, and then I would then narrow that down to also people that are interested in Credit Karma. You know, the credit viewing app. The reason why I would narrow this down is because if you're just specifically targeting cars.com, you know, that goes out to a handful of people, that goes out for a ton of people, you know, but when you specifically target out cars.com and then narrow it down to Credit Karma, you're getting more specific to the person that you want to view. When you're running ads out on Facebook, you're bidding for audiences. You're bidding for ad placement to be in a specific audience. So if you're bidding out for something more specific like this, you're going to get better results. So when I do this is I would use this cold targeting, either this, or I would use either a lead list or people that engage with social media or even website visitors. But chances are, if you have a fresh ad account, you're not going to have a lot of website visitors. But these two over here are going to be your highest quality of people that are most likely interested in buying your shit. So what I would do is, if this is a fresh blank account, is I would do ad targeting over here, something like a cold audience of cars.com, narrowed down to Credit Karma over here. And then I would try to do a lead list or somebody that engaged with my social media over here. The reason why I'm doing this is, let's say over here, this is going to get a cost result of like $10/lead. This one over here might be another one, $10/lead. And then I would have another one over here as strictly just a cold audience, you know, with nothing, completely blank audience, completely just blank audience, no targeting, no nothing, strictly relying on Facebook's pixel. Okay. And if you're going to go this method over here, one thing that you need to note is that when you are creating the copy on this, the first sentence of your copy should be like who this ad is going out to, because the algorithm reads that. And I'll go more into that in a second. But the way this strategy is going to work is that you're using over here cars.com, Credit Karma as one ad targeting 1 and ad targeting 2 as a way to fuel the pixel. Okay. And you're going to find that, let's say you're getting leads over here of $10 a lead, $10 a lead. The more impressions that these ones get over here, this cost per lead is going to increase. Okay. Because people in the same audience are probably going to see your ads more frequent. So the cost per result over here is going to start to increase. And you're going to find that this cold audience, this blank audience out here, this shit might start out at like $30 per lead. Okay. But as you're training this pixel, as you're running more ads, I'm going to start lowering this budget over here, and I might raise this budget a little bit more. And you're going to find that as this pixel over here, we'll call this one pixel-based targeting. You're going to find that this pixel-based targeting, the cost per lead is going to decrease the more that the pixel learns. So when I do this, is I use these cold audiences more so, not necessarily as a way to get leads, but more so as a way to train this pixel. Because eventually you're going to find that this cost per lead over here is going to go up to maybe like $15 per lead. But then over here, maybe in a week, maybe 2 weeks, instead of this being $30 per lead, because the algorithm has learned, this shit's going to go down to maybe $7 a lead. What I'm trying to say is that this pixel-based targeting is going to get lower than this cold audience over here, mainly because this pixel-based targeting has more freedom to be able to hit other audiences because it's strictly relying on its algorithm based upon the similarities of people that are converting. Whereas this one over here, it's stuck to a specific audience, you know? So when you're running this, let's say you're running this over here, this similar strategy over here, where you have a complete blank audience and a pixel-based targeting. Couple of things to note before you actually do this is on the actual ad, when you write it, you want to make sure you have a couple of things to note. And this actually goes into the next step that I want to talk about here. So let me clear this drawing out really quick. Is that when you're writing this ad over here, let me draw out the ad just to make it simple. Okay. You have an image over here. Maybe it's even a video over here. Let's pretend like the ad is a video over here. Okay. You're going to have like a headline over here saying, I don't know, maybe fix credit now. And then you're going to have that little button over here saying learn more over here. And then below that, you're going to have words over here like attention, credit, repair people that need something, blah, 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 blah. It's going to show like 3 lines over here. The reason why I'm showing this in particular is because the copy that you write on the actual ad, when as soon as ChatGPT came out, this also came out, in which case the algorithm actually understands what you write in the copy and is able to make a better judgment and send it out to people that are most likely going to convert to that ad. So if you are looking for people that want to go from renter to homeowner, for example, to home owner, and your offer's like, hey, I fix your credit so you can go from renter to homeowner. You know, what I would do in this actual targeting over here is I would be like, attention, people that want to move out of their house and finally stop renting. I don't know. I said that not the best way, but what I'm trying to say is in the first sentence right at the back, you're going to want to address the people that you send this offer out to. And the way I would structure this ad copy out is in the very beginning is who is this going out to? Okay. So people that want to go. So who? I'll put like WH over here. Who's this going out to? Okay. Second portion over here is what you do. What? Or offer. What's the offer? Or how do you do this? Or I like to do like a simple 3-step system. Okay. So for example, the renter to homeowner example over here. Attention renters that are looking to get into a home within the next 3 to 6 months. I have an amazing program for you, in which case we boost your credit by 60 points in the next 3 months. And I also find you 20 different options within your range, plus stacking value in here, plus I hook you up with a local real estate agent. So over here you're showing the offer and how you do it. And then finally, what I always talk about at the end over here is like, why choose us? Why are we the best? So why us? Success stories, testimonials, blah, blah, whatever. So over here at the very end, join over 100 plus clients who went from homeowner to renter in the last, 6 months, whatever. Okay. Why us? And then finally, you're going to wrap it up with some sort of call to action at the very end. CTA. It's going to be like, click the ad. Click the ad below to get started. Or maybe you're gonna put the website in there. Click, check out the website link. And as an added bonus on this portion over here, what I would even do is I'd add a little more scarcity on here as well too. What I would do over here is limited for the next 6 people. And I do this scarcity objection here quite a lot, actually. You know, whenever I'm closing somebody over the call, I always try to add some scarcity into it. So if this makes sense, I'm going to stop sharing here. When I'm closing a deal on a call, for example, let's say I'm going to offer somebody, I don't know, Facebook ads over here, or offer somebody my course over here. What I always try to do is at the very end of a call is I'll be like, hey, I see that you're a hustler. Hey, I see, and I like to work with hustlers that make decisions on the spot. First of all, are you the decision maker? If I find out the decision maker, great. I like to work with hustlers that like to make decisions. For the next 24 hours, what I can do is typically I charge around $5K for this course. But for you, and because you're a hustler, because I can tell that I want to make you my next success story, I'm gonna bring that price all the way from $5,000 all the way down to like only $3,000. And the only reason why I can do this is because I'm gonna offer this for the next 24 hours. So whenever I try to sell people, I always try to have an added incentive so that, hey, if they take up this offer within the next 24 hours or within the next day, before night ends, you're going to get a significant decrease. Another scarcity thing as well too is we only have this offer, obviously, we only have this offer for the next 6 people, okay? So I can't guarantee that this offer is going to last. You know, Halloween's coming up. You know, you might want to do a couple of Halloween specials, you know, in which case the Halloween special could be like, all right, limited time only, get your credit fixed, and it's going to be half off. Or limited time only, a Halloween special, you can get your own merchant account with 0% processing fees, and you're going to get the system for free. You're going to get something for free. You know, right now, Halloween's coming up. You're absolutely going to want to capitalize. And I know I'm definitely going to as well too. Capitalize on the Halloween specials, you know, holiday specials. People love those shit, you know. Things like that kills it, always kills it. It's kind of what I have over here for the things I really wanted to go over today. So I want to open up this last couple of maybe 5 or 10 minutes over here to any questions that people might have. You know, maybe you guys did something today. I mean, maybe you did something this week that you might have some questions on. Maybe you guys want to go over a call script that you might have had. They might want to go over. I want to see how I can provide the most value right here.
Can you show us more about Lead Connect?
Lead connector, absolutely. What in particular you want to look at for lead connector here? Like how do you zap your integrations?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Any specific integrations you want to see?
So for instance, I've heard of Lead Connector. It's just a matter of picking that Facebook group and being able, it's basically a way to cheaply steal the audience. And
what I was talking about, lead enforce.
Yeah, lead enforce.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry, lead enforce. Yeah, lead enforce. I'm sorry.
I had a feeling. I saw your face when I was talking about that. You're like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So
I'm like, wait.
It's really, really cool, actually, how it works.
Yeah, I'm looking now, and it's like I'm getting an error message for my Pixel, so I'll look at that in a little bit. So yeah, I got to go back and look at that. But yeah, I'm interested in lead enforce.
Great. So lead enforce is a pretty simple system to use. It's the site over here. So let me go over to click on anything here. Give me a second. Sometimes lets me pick. All right. So what you're able to do over here. I got repaying for my subscription here. Okay, so pretty much Yeah, it's not letting me do this right now. I got a pad. I don't have my
Okay.
card on me right now. But
Okay.
pretty much what you're able to
Okay.
do, let's see if I go into the actual website right here.
All right.
Pretty much what you're able to do is you're able to scrape um, Facebook groups. Okay, you can take Facebook groups. So, for example, funnel. Let's use my software company as an example. What I would probably do, and I do have a list over here under my bookmarks, is Funnel Hacker Lab site inspiration over here. And there's a couple of people over here. For example, like Elite 360, he's one of my competitors over here. He sells Go High Level as well too. Now, what I would probably do is I would go over here. I might go Elite 360. I'm gonna go try to find his Facebook group or his Facebook page. Okay. Now, Elite Enforce allows you to take around 5 different sources and combine them into a group. So I'm gonna go to Elite 360 over here. And I'm gonna try to find their Facebook page. Here we go. Perfect. What you're able to do over here is you're able to grab this link over here, copy it, paste it into Lead Enforce here. If I did pay for my subscription here, which I didn't, and create audiences on here based upon Facebook pages that you have. So, for example, Elite 360. If I look up over here, like let's say, for example, I want to target let's say I want to target all Go High Level users.
Yeah.
I would probably look up Go High Level. I would try to find a Go High Level community. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do freelancers because a lot of the freelancers I find, they don't even have Go High Level. They're just looking for work. So I would probably go to like Go High Level Mastery. I feel like that would probably be a lot better. Or maybe Go High Level Resources. Or maybe the official Go High Level group is like Go High Level official community here. I might grab some of these. Just pretend like I got this one over here. And I'll grab this. I'll make a list, maybe 4 or 5 of them. I'll add them to Lead Enforce. And as soon as you add them to Lead Enforce, let me go to my ad manager really quick. You're able to then click a button and it adds it directly into your audience on here. Let me see if it pops up. So, for example, here's another example right here. Credit repair business owners. So, as you guys probably already know, I do specialize in marketing for credit repair businesses. And what I want to do is I want to send out a campaign to all credit repair business owners. Okay. So most credit repair business owners, they have things like Credit Repair Cloud. They have things like Client Dispute Manager. Maybe they are using Identity IQ as a credit monitoring service or something called Smart Credit as a credit monitoring service. So all these different things, these different softwares that credit repair company, credit repair business owners most likely have, I want to ethically steal those people, that traffic. So I'm gonna go to like Credit Repair Cloud community. 31,000 members on here. I'm gonna grab this and use this as a source. I'm gonna take this, plug it right into Lead Enforce, which is what I did over here, but it's not popping up right now. I didn't pay for it. And you're able to then, which is this one right here, but it shows right now that's not available because I gotta pay for it again. But you're able to take like Credit Repair Cloud, Client Dispute Manager, Identity IQ, Smart Credit, all those things, force them into one audience, and anybody that has engaged, anybody that has liked, commented, Lead Enforce scrapes all those users, scrapes their Facebook ID, puts them into an audience for you to then send ads out on behalf of. There's really 2 ways I've done this before in the past, and they both work very, very well. I'm not using Lead Enforce right now, as my pixels are warmed up and it's tuned phenomenally just as a blank pixel. But there's 2 ways of doing what we're trying to do here right now with Lead Enforce. Obviously, using the software Lead Enforce, I think it's like $50 a month. It's really not too much money. You can use lead enforce, or what you could also do is there's a bunch of different tools that you can use to scrape credit repair business owners. Obviously, you can just hire a VA to scrape them. You go on Fiverr or Upwork or on a Facebook group, find a VA and have them scrape them. Or you can go and download a couple of extensions that allow you to scrape them directly off of Google. I don't know if I have it anymore. Let me see. Chrome Marketplace. Let me see. And what you can do is you can scrape like 500, 1,000 people, credit for companies, and you could add them on a CSV file and directly just import them into your Facebook custom audience. You know, so for example, over here, go here, create audience. I don't know why this is blank. Nothing works when I want it to work over here, but it's grayed out for some reason. What you're able to do is you're able to click this and upload a direct customer list right under your ads right over here.
Those two methods are more effective than D7.
Well, I mean, if you have D7 Lead Finder, it makes it a
Yeah.
lot easier because you can just take D7 Lead Finder, for example. I have D7 Lead Finder as well too myself.
Yeah.
You can take D7 Lead Finder, and let's say I have a bunch of real estate brokers over here. There's a couple of things that you can do this with. I don't know, my partner looked up sex shop for some reason. Off of there. But take a bunch of different real estate brokers over here. I don't know why he's doing it over here, but take a bunch of different real estate brokers, and you can take these real estate brokers.
I mean, hey, everybody needs funnels, so
exactly. But you can take this, and I've done two things in the past. You know, use it just as a custom audience onto Facebook. But I've also done too is I've taken mortgage brokers. I've taken real estate agents, put them to a massive list, send out emails to them, and also do a massive voicemail drop to them saying, hey, I sent you an email with the offer in the voicemail drop. Check out the email. And anybody that has clicked on the email, you call up as well too, because those people are at least somewhat interested as well. I've definitely done that in the past, and that has definitely worked, you know. But yeah, D7 Lead Finders is also is fantastic, you know. I love just because it makes it super easy to scrape like 1,000 emails on here.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah, and I'm
then
like,
just send out ads out
even
too.
just adding them into, like, say for instance, like real estate brokers, adding real estate brokers into the mortgage funnel,
Mhm.
and just going crazy on that, even like 1,000 a day, 5,000 a day. There's no limit to that. The only thing I would do differently is I would actually still get someone to scrape that data, because
Mhm.
what I found is that if it's like info at myrealestateagency.com, then that address is typically not going to be checked as often, possibly,
Mhm. I see what you're
possibly.
saying.
But I would want, like, do you have a specific person? So the last two people that I hired on Fiverr to clean my data didn't do a really good job, and it flagged my GHL account. So I
Mm.
had to go through a process and get that taken care of. So that was bad. Um, so do you have anyone in particular that you use?
To clean it up, there's a software that my partner has used to help you clean up those emails, so you only send it to like kind of like for lack of better words, I guess verified
Verified.
emails.
Yeah. Like
Um,
I saw one is like no bounce or something like that.
I forgot what it's called. I can hit up my buddy really quick and I can send you a text back.
Okay.
No bounce is definitely one. There's a couple of them.
Okay.
But it's definitely worth it. Another thing too, to kind of go off what you're saying, is that there's another one. There's another software that I use as well too. It's called a RepliQ over here that you might find interesting as well too. What this allows you to do is an AI software. It allows you to record a video once as if it's like some sort of presentation, PowerPoint presentation. You know, for example, if you want to use it for mortgage brokers, record a presentation, you know, and every single mortgage broker, it would change out their name and change out the background image automatically to that mortgage broker. So let's say, I don't, just randomly, you're selling websites, okay, and you're
Yeah.
selling websites to like roofers, high ticket websites. You could scrape a massive list of 1,000 different roofers, and you can create a simple video saying, hey, check out this is hey, this is your website. Hey, first name, this is your website. I can do this, this, and this on the website to make it look a whole lot better. And it sends out this custom video that changes out the background to their current website and changes out the name to their current name, allowing you to send out a mass of like 1,000 different personalized videos to all these different people. As you can see by this little infographic over here, record a video, file with leads info. You create personalized videos or screenshots, with their social media account, with their website, and different things like that to put onto the background. So this might help you as well over here too.
Yeah.
My
Even even if it kept the same background, because it doesn't really need to change much if I'm going to do real estate agents. Just like, hey, like I just changed up my LinkedIn profile, and I'm so proud of it. Just even the wording for it, but just using some of that verbiage, like, hey, you're losing money, and basically like telling real estate agents you are losing money, telling people in the financial industry you are losing money because your clients aren't qualified and you're spending all this money on your leads and your clients aren't qualified. So just really like keeping one background and exchanging their name, that's a game changer. It's killer.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I love
killer.
that.
So yeah, I'm interested in like these, like it's all about lead generation, and it's the more leads I have, the more money I can make. And it's lead generation and content is primarily the focus now. Like forget everything else. Somebody else will do something else. Somebody else will do the other stuff. Even down to the actual credit repair process. That's the purpose of having like softwares and stuff like that. So I'm not stuck trying to figure out letters and all that other shit. So just like really taking advantage, so I can appreciate like showing these softwares and stuff like that, things to make it easier. Like even considering like what a actual workflow would look like for, um, let's say if we were to use this, like what a workflow would look like for that.
So you want to see a workflow on how to use this?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So I'm gonna get that started for, I'm running out of time here for next week's
Okay.
strategy session. I think that'd be
Okay.
awesome. I do believe
Okay.
that this will help a whole lot of people over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Like workflows and stuff like that, because I enjoy like looking at the ads and stuff like that. How we're able to maximize on ads. And there are so many other ways that we can get our message out there. So it's great that we have ads on the back end that are running, and then be able to use tools like Reply Queue or Lead Enforcer and stuff like that. Like having a work through of how to use these tools to kind of like broaden our audience is like next success story loading. So
Perfect. So I'll make sure we get this prepared. So we use this one. We'll show a little bit more on this one.
Okay.
Before we kind of get off here, are you using the marketing section over here on the CRM?
Yes.
I know you do a lot of content out there. So
Yeah.
I mean, this in itself is pretty much a game changer for me too.
Yeah.
And personally, we just restructured a lot of the way we put out content out there, because we don't only just use this, we also use something called Notion over here.
Okay.
And what we do is we have a calendar over here that we aim to hit every single month after month. Over here, strategy session Sunday, motivational Monday, client acquisition tips on Tuesday, workflow Wednesday, just a funny meme on Thursday, funnel Friday, success story Saturday, kind of keeping a content calendar like this, developing as soon as possible a system to just put content out there as soon as possible, especially for like our businesses that rely on content, because the more people see our face, the more the people are just going to trust us ultimately. The more we provide value, the more people are going to want to give us money, So developing systems like this, I mean, maybe next Sunday, I can come up with a I can show you guys how I do my content over here, in addition to showing off reply queue over here as well too. I think that will also be a very
Yes.
beneficial a strategy session for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just like walkthroughs, like your processes, your systems and processes, and even down to what to start outsourcing first, like what to, like, hey, you know what? Let a VA handle this part of it first, or just really like helping us think through that process of it, like what's gonna work. And it's all going to be trial and error. So we're going to take
Hmm.
what you use and then say, oh, okay, this is either going to work or it's not going to work for us, because everyone's business is essentially different.
Yeah.
But it's great to have that view of like you're already doing it, like what's working for you. So I definitely appreciate like the thought that you put behind these videos.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I also wanted to
Absolutely.
say again, Blake, thank you for doing this strategy Sunday. I was literally looking forward to it. I'm excited for you to be teaching this. I really enjoy it. So I wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to do this for us.
Thank you, Zai. I really, really appreciate that. I love that you guys are all. I hear you guys all win over here. It's awesome. Makes you super happy. And make sure I always do this, guys, so we all can win together.
Perfect. Perfect.
We're gonna love that.
Perfect.
All right, guys. So now I know I gotta get on the itinerary for next week over here. I'm gonna load you guys up with information. I'm gonna make sure we all win here, guys. Anything else that you guys might need in the meantime, guys, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to do that as well too. Matter of fact, what I'm even gonna do is I'm gonna prepare. I got this little content calendar over here. If you guys use Notion, I'm gonna prepare a public calendar over here, kind of just showing off the way this is for October, the way I do my content as well. And I'm gonna make it a way so I can just give this to you guys as a blank for you guys to just fill it out and just do it on your own, just to kind of just cut the time where it takes for you guys to build this system over here. I'm gonna make that prepared so you guys next Sunday will have that as well too.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Perfect, guys. Thank you guys for
Perfect.
coming as always. I really appreciate that. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great week. Let's
Thank
kill
you.
this
Everyone
week,
have a good
Bye,
day.
guys.
y'all.
Let's
Bye.
go. Let's go.
See you
Later.
guys. Enjoy. Bye.